It's Thursday, April 14th. We have a friend of the universe, Laura Stone, is with us tonight. How you doing, Laura?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I was telling Laura that this is going to be probably the easiest and probably maybe one of the more fun appearances that she's going to have with us because all we're doing tonight is picking some dates for 80s weekend. So we're celebrating Jackie Robinson Day tomorrow, and then Saturday and Sunday is our first ever 80s weekend. So on Saturday and Sunday, I'll be posting some, pop culture to celebrate the 80s. But before we pick those dates, Laura, give me a couple songs that when you think of the 80s, what songs do you think of?
Um, Probably Def Leppard, and I think Hysteria was the best album to me.
This is a true story. My first slow dance was Love Bites,
It's one of my favorites.
seventh
They're a best
grade.
group.
So
Yeah.
now, even 35 years later, when I hear it, I get that
Yes, you remember.
those butterflies. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember my first radio memory was hearing "I Love Rock and Roll" in like 1981, and to this date, that's one of my top like probably 10 favorite songs to hear on the radio.
It's on my playlist
Yeah,
all the
love
time.
it.
Love
What
Joan
about
Jett.
80s movies?
Oh, anything John Hughes. Like I gotta say, like my favorite is like 16 Candles. So
I,
I
I
love Matt Ryan.
I remember making my daughter laugh. Now she's never seen that movie, but
No.
she loved the song, and I used to make her laugh, and I would like multiply the number. So I would sing like 32 candles, and she goes, "Daddy, it's just 16. It's just 16 candles." I just recently actually rewatched Dirty Dancing for probably the 50th time.
That's my favorite movie.
I love it. And
Love
it's
it.
funny, the old woman that
Yeah.
tries to get into bed with Johnny, she was my age in the movie. So like she was because we always think of her as like old, like
Yes.
dirty. Her the age she was portraying in that movie is my current age. That makes me feel disgusted.
I'm not revealing any ages on my behalf. Not gonna do it, but hitting that cougar spike there. So
There you go. Well, all right. So for the Friday games, I usually pick the date in advance because I actually wrote Friday yesterday so that I can have some type of social life this weekend. I'm going to write actually Saturday and Sundays tonight, and you're
uh-huh.
going to help me do that. The date I pulled for Friday is actually going to be June 12th, 1987.
That's my husband's birthday. Except for he was born in 85.
All right, so we're celebrating Mr. Stone's second birthday tomorrow
Yeah.
by using June 12th, 1987. That was random. I spun a wheel, it chose 87. I went to my spreadsheet to see what hasn't been used. So again, we're going to celebrate Mr. Stone's second birthday tomorrow. For
It's also
Saturday,
my nephew's birthday because like he was born on the same day.
nice. Now, your Atlanta Braves, again, the
Hmm.
two-time defending Utopian champions, they are hosting the Boston Red Sox this weekend.
Well, I hope they do better than the current ones.
They're right now. Your Braves and my Mets, who are actually in different divisions in the Utopian, are both in fourth place, 3 games out.
It's brutal.
Yeah, your Braves are hosting the Red Sox. My Mets are at Miami. For Saturday's games, what year from the 80s would you like to use for Saturday?
You know what? I'm gonna say it for you and John Keeney. I'm gonna say 86.
86. Well, thank you. Now, I'll give you the month, and then you give me the date. We'll make sure that there were actually games that day. I don't think there was a strike or lockout that year. Let's do May of 86. And then give me an exact date for May of 86.
The 14th.
May 14th. So what I'm going to do, and this will take me just a second or two. So I'm going to go into May 14th, 86. All right, and I've got plenty of games to deal with, so we'll make that official. We're going to use May 14th, 1986 for Saturday.
That works.
And then what I'm going to do is for Sunday's game, Sunday is Easter Sunday. And my favorite baseball memory actually is not a Mets memory, it's a Brewers memory. It actually happened on Easter Sunday, 1987. And we're going to use that date. We're going to use April 19th, 1987 for Sunday.
That works.
So we're using 87 twice this weekend. So we're going to do June 12th, 87 for Friday. We're going to do May 14th, 86 for Saturday, as chosen by Laura and I. And then Sunday, we're going to use April 19th, 1987. Now, for any of these dates, if I don't have enough games, I'll pull from the next day as well. I know we'll have enough for Saturday because I just looked at it right now. And then we'll be posting results throughout the weekend. But again, I'm going to write all this stuff tonight.
Okay.
And then people will see it throughout the weekend. So the last thing I want to do before we go off the air, I have a little surprise for you, Laura. I just cleared it with our board of directors. And the Utopian Baseball Universe would love to gift you a free Utopian Baseball Universe shirt.
Oh.
So my people will reach out to your people later tonight, and we'll get you a size and a color preference, and we're going to send that to you in the next couple of weeks so that you could wear that proudly in your hometown.
I'll go live in my group with it on.
Yeah, and then people can be like, when you're at the grocery store, like, what's this Utopian nonsense? And be like, let me tell you. So we're going to send that out to you in the next couple of weeks.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And I think the next time this silly mug is on these airwaves, tomorrow is actually Jackie Robinson Day, Laura. So we're going to do a double header on Xbox. We're going to do the Reds and Dodgers at 3 and the Brewers and A's way, way later, about 11:30. And I do apologize. I could not get you a win today. We had the Braves on earlier today, and the Phillies beat them 7-3. I do apologize.
Of all the teams, it's a bad omen. But I know how my team plays. Like for the past 6 years straight, it's been a really slow start, but then it's just run away with the division. And then last year and the year before, came really close.
The last thing I want to ask you too is, what day are we putting that Mets banner up in Annalise Uncensored?
I change it every Friday.
Friday, so tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
All right, we're 5-2.
I know, but I was real disappointed y'all didn't have that spring training celebration this year.
I know that was a little bit of I think that was a mistake. And they did. I think John talks about this a lot in the group too. They set a record last year. They were in first place for like 112 days and didn't even make the playoffs.
Oh, it was 112. I thought it was 103. You're probably right on this though.
No, you're right. I'm just throwing a number. I'm estimating, but
I hear it so much. You just don't know.
I know it was a record.
Yeah.
For a team to spend consecutively in first place and not even make the playoffs.
Oh, the collapse.
Let me ask you one more thing here too. What is your take on the Clayton Kershaw thing from yesterday?
You never ever take a pitcher out with 80 pitches. You know what? Forget how many pitches.
Sure.
Okay. You never take a pitcher out that close to a perfect no-hitting game. And, I was looking, and apparently this only happened twice in history, and it's the same manager that done it twice.
I'm going to actually, all right, so I'm going to give you 2 points of view here. Now, number one, when I saw the story yesterday, I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, how can you pull him 6 outs away? Now, I'm going to give you, and I'm not trying to change anyone's opinion here, but let me tell you 2 things real quick. Number one, and I've heard this now from 3 different sources. Dave Roberts went to Clayton Kershaw after the 6th. He didn't say, I'm pulling you. He said, how are you feeling? And Kershaw said, I got 1 inning left in me.
Wow.
He was at about 72 pitches at the point. Now, keep in mind, and again, a lot of people don't want to hear this. Spring training was very short.
Oh, yeah.
We're all feeling players were locked out. It's not like a lot of them were staying in the best of shape. So, like, how many complete games have there been in the majors this year thus far? I don't think there have been too many, number one. And then number two, and this is what drove it home for me. There's a member of this group that actually played Major League Baseball. He actually pitched at a high level, won a Cy Young. His name is Jack McDowell. Today on Facebook, he gave his opinion, and he said that a pitcher usually knows within about 10 pitches or so what his limit is for the day. And he said on a good day, when he was pitching, he could probably go 150 pitches, no problem. Right. And he said there were some days where 10 or 15 pitches in, he knew he didn't have it to go 9.
You always know.
He said, you always know. And he said a pitcher of Kershaw's caliber knew early he couldn't do it.
See, but here's the thing, though. Is it really Clayton? I mean, if Clayton comes out and he says, okay, it was totally my call, guys, it's fine. I really didn't think that if I went back out there, I was going to have it in me. That's one thing. And I kind of feel like he's a really stand-up guy. Like, a lot of people don't want to hear this because he's a Dodger, but it's really true. Like, when you look up some of the best guys in baseball today, that, to me, he's number one. He's right up there. Like, he's been with his girlfriend, wife since middle school.
I didn't know
and they have a family, and like, he's just like this regular hometown guy. Like, the Dodgers are so fortunate to have that kind of phenomenal talent. So to me, if he said, hey, you know, I told him I didn't have it in me, I couldn't do it, this was my decision, then I'm gonna be like, well, he knows. But until he does that, I'm just gonna be like, I can't believe Dave Roberts pulled him. I can't.
And again, and you know, believe who you want to believe. But from what I've read, Roberts didn't just take the ball. He didn't say you're out. He checked with him after 6 and said, how are you feeling? And Kershaw came back and said, I've got maybe another inning left. And again, nobody wakes up saying, you know what, my goal is to throw a perfect game today. You want to win the game.
It's so rare.
21 straight outs, 13 strikeouts, 13 out of 21 struck out. I mean, it was on pace to be the best pitched game of all time. But again, if that's me, I'm keeping the ball. I'm finishing it off.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a documentary at some point.
It will. And it'll be one of these things where Clayton's like old and he's sitting there and he goes, that son of a...
He'll wait till both he and Roberts are like 20 years past their contract. Be like, no, I wanted to finish that. But
he'll pull out all the stops like Chipper.
Yeah. But everyone's opinion, I mean, everyone is so like, there's not a lot of middle ground. It's either people are really upset or understand it. And
it's hard to just be like okay with something like that. I don't even see, you know, it's just hard.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, when I initially saw it, I'm like, oh my God, how can he pull him? And then when I started reading some stuff, I'm like, I mean, it's tough too. And again, I don't want to compare the two. There actually is no comparison. But when Johan threw his no-hitter in 2012, he ended up with like 130 pitches. Now, I'm not saying that Kershaw was even close to that. But if this was supposed to be kind of still spring training for these guys, they're not coming close to 80 pitches in spring training.
Yeah, you got a point there too.
So, like, I'd almost want to know, it's too bad there's not, like, a conversation that we could, like, tangibly point to and say, hey, before the game even started, Kershaw said, this is my limit, 6 innings, 80 pitches or whatever. I mean, it is unfortunate, but like, I don't know. I think at some point the truth is all going to come out and everyone's going to kind of come together on this. But yeah, I mean, there've only been 23. It would have been nice to see.
It would have. But I mean, you know, that's between them if he's cool with it. But if you ask a Braves fan what they think of Dave Roberts,
yeah,
you're not
and
going to get
for the
positive.
record, I've been very critical of Dave Roberts for the last 5 or 6 years. I think the way he managed the team in the 17 World Series, despite all the trash cans and all that, he managed very poorly in that series.
He did.
I don't think he managed very well against Boston either, and I think it was 2018.
No. I don't think he's a very good manager, period. But then again, and this will ruffle so many feathers, I don't like Brian Snitker at all.
You don't like Brian Snitker?
I don't. Okay. He's not a very good manager. To an extent, he has improved. And I give credit where it's due. He did. There's small things that have just irked me since day one that he has improved upon. But at the end of the day, it's like he's incapable of overcoming the same stupid mistakes that he always makes. And it's like, I know the man like clockwork. I tell Tim all the time, and my mod, Tim, I tell him, I say, Tim, you know he's just going to do this dumb shit. And we'll say it the night before. Next game tomorrow, there he is. Like, I'll give you an example. 2 nights ago, we are hitting like crazy on the Nats. I mean, we're throwing up football numbers on them. And you know the guys that are hitting. And you know basically who the hot bats are. Well, me and Tim said, okay, he'll sit those guys tomorrow. You wait and see. But even if he didn't play them all, and I get him to give rest because we were about to go on road games, and I totally get the logistics of every single bit of that. But even if he had let half of them play, let's say he let Heredia and Arcia play, okay, their bats were on fire. He didn't play any of them. Not none. And I don't know why he keeps playing Ozuna out there when he should put him at DH. Like,
yeah,
his arm is so shitty. I don't know. Why? Put him on DH. I mean, you could still have his bat in the lineup and everything, but just, you got to use it. I don't know. He has decisions that just...
What did you think of the Travis d'Arnaud thing when he got hit by D. Gordon? I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, he was hilarious. Like, he had said in the interview afterwards, he's like, I'd already told him, like, if I weren't out there, like, and he hit me, I was going to lay down and do that. Just, like, to tickle him. But D's so little, too, and, like, he's just throwing 40 miles per hour, which I'd imagine, like, it kind of stings a little, but you're not going to feel anything. But he's just laying on the floor like somebody killed him. But
I was throwing, we had like a full crew at work today, and I was throwing Nerf footballs at my staff. They weren't
even.
Do
you have anybody lay down like Travis on you?
What's that?
I said, did anybody lay down like Travis for you?
No, but that would have been great. I was telling customers, I said, if you guys spend at least $10 in the store today, you guys can also throw footballs at these people I was throwing footballs at.
Hey, that's motivation right there.
Got to keep it fun.
Yes.
All right. Well, Laura, thank you for joining us tonight. I'll reach out to you. We're going to get you your surprise here in a couple weeks. And then everyone else in the universe will see you tomorrow at 3:00 for Jackie Robinson Day. We have a good amount of Jackie Robinson content tomorrow and a good amount of 80s content this weekend. So,
nice.
Laura, thanks for spending some time with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 3:00 for Jackie Robinson Day, Reds and Dodgers. Take care, everybody.